Namaskar. I was born in a normal middle class family with no musical background. My mother was a staff nurse, and my father has his own newspaper selling agency. But from my early childhood, I had a great fancy about Indian music. I still remember I used to watch Indian classical renditions on TV, and my granny, being amazed, used to tap on my head and laugh. My family thought I'm pretending as if I'm understanding that difficult ala, bol, and tan of Indian music. But I am in so much love with that music that it was beyond anything for me. At the age of 4, I started learning tabla, and according to my Guruji, I was doing fairly good in that. After my high school exam, I decided to learn sitar, and my friends, family, and my guru thought it was a bad decision after engrossed in tabla for so many years. By that time, I won many competitions, tabla competitions, and was also performing on stage. But somehow in my heart, I focused on my sitar practice. So I learned sitar basically in Nasik at my hometown, and it brought me to Mumbai, where I can study it deeply. When I see this drastic change in my career, actually, it is never a career for me. It is just a medium of expressing my inner joy. So when I see back, people around me could only see the limitations or difficulties in taking up sitar. But it was decision taken by my head, by my heart, I'm sorry, but not by my head. So I focused on sitar. For example, I will say when you listen something extraordinary, an extraordinary concert, or something of your interest that is extraordinary, especially great, exceptionally great, and it appeals to your heart. That extraordinary is, I think, something beyond logic. So we can say to overcome your limits, to do something extraordinary in your field, in music or in any field, you have to keep aside the logical thinking, the thinking which is programmed in your head for many years and years, and you have to just follow your heart. So, in a simple sentence, I will say, where logic ends, magic begins. Now, I would like to tell about journey of our Indian classical music and instruments. So, from ancient ages, nature has inspired music. When the wind flows through bamboo forest, the sound that is produced, and that is how Basuri was invented. Basuri or flute, probably the oldest musical instrument on this planet, and the fact that is our Indian classical tradition is that old. At the Stone Age, humans used to hunt, and they made strings out of intestine of different animals. They made an instrument using these strings called sarangi. Ravanhatta from Rajasthan, sarangi are from same family. You can still see those strings in sarangi today also. As metal was invented, there comes a Veena family. Even our gods have separate musical instrument with them. Lord Ganpati is a great mridangam player. Lord Shiva plays damru. Lord Krishna play flute. Ma Saraswati is a beenkar or Veena Vadini. Lord Hanumana was a singer, and there is a still separate branch in our Indian classical music called Hanumat Sangeet. Ganapati was a god of Chauda Vidya and Chausashtakala, which means various knowledge and art forms. There was a Muni called Bharat Muni who wrote a grantha called Natya Shastra, which is considered as Veda of music, to bring a light on this Sausashtakala or 64 art forms. And that grantha, Natya Shastra, is still guiding us. At the ancient time, Indian classical music was to be performed in temples to produce that peaceful and relaxing sound. The instruments were slightly big compared to today's instrument. According to Natya Shastra, there are 52 types of veena, the string instrument family of India. Some of them are Chitra Veena, Vichitra Veena, Kinnari Veena, Shatatantri Veena. Kinnari Veena means Veena with 3 pumpkins. Shatatantri Veena, Veena with 100 strings. Pinaki Veena, Rudra Veena, Saraswati Veena, and many more. At that time, the music to be sung or played in temples was called as Dhrupad music. I would like to demonstrate some of Dhrupad alaps. Alap is first half of Dhrupad rendition, and it have 3 subsections called Alap, Zor, and Zhala. Alap is elaboration of notes in a raga. After Alap, there comes Jor, means the pulse will be introduced, or the rhythm will be, tempo will be introduced. And the last portion, the Jhala, is inspired by, you can say, string instruments, or basically the Rudra Veena. In the Jhala part, the different combination of strings will be produced, and the vocal music used to copy the string instruments, I can say. So I'm presenting Rag Ahir Bhairav, Alap, Jod, and Zhala. I will talk with you in between. Here comes Jod Fa. There is a verse from our Vedic shlok, Hari Om Ananta Narayana. and they used to elaborate the words from the like na 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 ta na 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 re na ra no. I'm not a singer, excuse me. I'm just demonstrating. Last section, झाला. Thank you. So this was a Drupad Alap, and this Alap Jod Zhala part still used to play. We are still using the same format in our today's Indian instrumental rendition of North India. It is still alive. It is that old. So after Drupad era, get back to musical journey. After Drupad era, there comes a Mughal ruling period. At that time, common man was not able to listen music, and the music is to be performed in royal courts. At that time, the Khyal Gayaki, the Khyal style of singing, is introduced to India. With the Khyal, there are many more semi classical Indian formats like Thumri, Tappa, Dadra, Hori, Kajri, Chaiti are also introduced to India. After the Mughal period, I want to say the instruments like sitar and tabla are invented, or you can say this is just a modified version of Chitraveena, or the tabla is a modified version of pakhavas. I can say like that, you can say like that. But after Mughal period, in the British period, the common man was able to listen our classical music, and classical music programs were to be held all over the country. And nowadays, we are experiencing the influence of world music on our music with different kind of fusion concert, different kind of experiments, experimental projects. We are experiencing the impact of world music on our Indian classical music. For instance, I would like to present a raga called Madhuvanti, which is from South India, and also is it is played in North India also. The other name of this raga, ancient name, is Ambika. So I would like to present Raga Madhuvanti, and then I will play a Hollywood score based on this raga. I would like to thank you, each and every one of you, for listening me so patiently. Thank you. So this is Raga Madhuvanti.